What is going on, guys? It's Brandon back again for another video, and your boy's looking a little pasty. I'm hoping that's because of the sky. I hope. Anyways, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys had a great New Year's. I know I did. I'm still trying to get back into that funk of things. I've been having a couple days off for Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then New Year's Eve and New Year's. So this is actually my first full week back at work. Today was actually cut short. So I figured, why not bust out a video for you guys? I have a little mod that I've been sitting on for the Jetta that has some sentimental value to me, and I figured you guys could benefit from it. I can make a video of it, so why not do it? If you guys can't tell, we're sitting up in a different bit of scenery. Doesn't really look like the Jetta or the Miata's interior. We're actually in Chad, which is Kelly's truck. The weather's been really shitty here in Sacramento. Power outages, wind blowing, rainstorms, and I figured this would be the best vehicle to take to pick up the kid. So before we get started with today's video, I guess we'll have to do just that. It's not be a nice dinosaur?
No.
Oh, that's not good. Say, you want Daddy's help?
Yeah.
Say yes, please.
Yes, please.
There you go.
There's the seats. I made the dinosaur.
Put the tail over there. Put this.
There's the seats.
Which legs? Which ones go which?
This.
Which one?
This.
This one? Where's it go?
What's that?
There?
Yeah.
Nope. How about right there? You do the last one. So we got to Papa's a little early, so we're killing some time, building some dinosaurs. Alright, so Caden is at Papa and G-Mama's house, so now it's time that we can get working on the Jetta, but in order to do that, we're going to need to get it in the garage. Alright, so now that we got the car in the garage, I guess we can go ahead and start with today's install. Today we're going to be installing this Momo steering wheel. Now there's a story behind this, which I'll kind of fill you guys in first, but let me give you a little bit of a closer look with the steering wheel. So what we have here is a Momo steering wheel, the race edition, with the Momo hub. This is a real authentic Momo steering wheel. It is used, but it is in pretty good shape, and there's an interesting story behind this. I thought I would share it with you guys. So initially I never planned on putting a steering wheel in this car. The steering wheel that's in it is mint, it's very clean, and I figured I could always put my money in other mods. I like the steering wheel that's in there, but this steering wheel, oddly enough, came out of my very first GTI that I had, my first, well, Mark III, that I bought pretty much right out of high school. It's the car that I got into the car scene with, met all my friends through. Got into street racing and basically involved in the street culture, and I had that car for a while. It's the car that me and Kelly first started dating in. I used to drive to Monterey all the time, and eventually I ended up selling that car when I moved out. I got kicked out and moved into a house with a bunch of friends, and I didn't want to pay my car payment, which was, I had a car payment, like a private loan for that car, so I sold it to a buddy of mine. I ended up buying that car back and had hopes of like doing the shave bay and all this stuff that probably never would have happened anyways. I didn't have the money or the know-how back then to do it, but all my friends that I lived with thought that they would do me a favor and pull the motor one day when I was at the river with a group of other friends, and I came home and the axles were cut because they couldn't get the axles out, and there was a bunch of bolts and cups and nothing was labeled, and I totally lost interest in the car. It's just not how I do things. As you guys can tell with the channel stuff, I'm for the most part pretty organized. When I pull stuff, I put the bolts right back. Even when I pull my wheel off, I put the lug nuts back. That way I don't lose things, and ended up scrapping that car but I kept the steering wheel and a couple other parts. And every Mark III that I've had since then, which there's quite a few of them, the steering wheel has been in that car. The last GTI that I had, the one that I ended up trading for the Corolla for my E86, had the steering wheel in it, and I didn't have a stock steering wheel at the time. I got rid of the GTI thinking I'll never get back into a VR, I'll never get back into a Mark III, I'll just let it go, no big deal. And here we are. So oddly enough, my buddy Andrew ended up picking up that GTI. I was actually going to buy the GTI back mainly for the steering wheel. It went for really cheap. The guy was having a bunch of issues with it, and I was going to buy it. Andrew bought it. I hit up Andrew, said, hey, you know, if you want to sell that old steering wheel, that means a lot to me. You know, I have a lot of sentimental value with that wheel. I'd be more than willing to buy it off you. And Andrew, being cool like he is, Andrew was like, oh yeah, dude, no problem. I know it means a lot to you. You know, let me know and we'll work something out. So we did. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put your steering wheel dead center, or whatever center to you, so that when your new steering wheel goes on, it's not all cockeyed and out of alignment. Then you're going to want to go ahead and pop your hood. So I actually went ahead and removed my positive terminal. The reasoning behind that is this screw here is stripped and this is super clamped down, and I haven't replaced it yet, and I don't feel like messing with it because for a while it would be loose. I tried to start the car would die just because the negative wasn't clamped on there all the way. So I'm just going to leave this alone. Shouldn't really make a difference, I wouldn't think. We'll know later if I get hit in the face with the airbag, but I think I should be alright. You just definitely want to make sure that this positive terminal is not coming back. So after removing your battery, you're going to need to set up a sweet ass light so your YouTube followers can actually see what the hell you're doing. You're going to have a 5mm Allen bolt on each side of the airbag. So as simple as that. You just get a little flathead, you can dip it out of there, and your airbag's off. Everyone say hello, Rob. Hello, Rob. 24. And you're going to want one of these bad boys with one of these. Remove said nut.
Yeah, I'm standing in the background.
And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I usually try to wiggle the steering wheel left to right. And that should be pretty much it. Alright, so I might have lied. You guys actually need to take the clamshell, if you're a Mark III owner that actually still has one of these, off. There's 2 screws on the side. Pretty self-explanatory. The ribbon, god damn it, there's a little ribbon in here for the airbag that you need to disconnect here. I mean, I guess you could cut it if you wanted to, but just disconnect it. Alright, so then you're going to take your hub, courtesy of Momo Italy. Ooh. If it will, whatever, you guys fucking get the idea. And what I did before I ended up tightening or retightening the nut is kind of rough drafted the steering wheel to make sure it was still straight. That way, if these holes don't line up, then you get a fucking steering wheel like this, or whatever. So depending on whatever kind of car you have, I would just set everything up, take it apart, and then assemble everything. Alright, so then the rest of it is pretty straightforward. I did check, and the horn button does not work at all, but then I tried grounding out the wire and it didn't work at all either, so I'm pretty sure my horn just never worked. Then what I did is I started with the top bolt. I got that in like somewhat tight, and then I went to the bottom and cross pattern and basically lined everything up so that I wouldn't tighten everything down and then it not fit. Then you can just go around and tighten everything with your Allen key. Everyone's hardware is going to be different, so I can do this through a camera. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. So, go through, tighten it. And the last thing you're going to want to do is turn on your car. And depending on what kind of car you have, you might have to deplete your airbag light. But if you're a Mark III owner, chances are yours already burnt out. Or if you're like me, I pulled it when I did the LEDs on the cluster. So That's all she wrote. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I got for today's video. Give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below. If you guys have any more questions regarding this, you'd like me to go more in depth, or anything else that has to do with your Mark III or pretty much any car, be sure to follow me on social media. Go ahead and shoot me a DM via Instagram. I'll do my best to help you. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Thanks for watching guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Thumbs up, hit the subscribe.